In today's video, macronutrients. Welcome to today's video where we're going to go over the macronutrients. So these are something that's super important if you're trying to either cut, bulk, or just maintain. Something that a lot of people actually do not know, so that's why it is super important. So there are three types of macronutrients: protein, carbohydrates, and fats. So these are the three majority things that our body uses for energy. These are what come in the nutritional labels. So if you ever look at a nutritional label, there are going to be three things that are bolded. It's going to be your fats, your carbs, and then your protein generally at the bottom. Now there's a couple different subcategories, but we'll jump into that in a little bit later. So what are macronutrients? Well, these are what your body uses as energy. So each macronutrient has its own caloric value. So carbohydrates, for instance, is going to have 4 calories per gram of carbs. Proteins, very similar, are going to have 4 calories per gram. But fats are a little bit different. They're a more concentrated energy and they're essential to our body. So they're actually going to have 9 calories per gram. So very simply, if you eat 1 gram of a carbohydrate or protein, you're going to get 4 calories out of it. If you eat 1 gram of fat, you're going to get 9 calories out of it. So how do these help our body? Why is it important to know what we're eating and what these macros and how they fit in? So from a nutritional standpoint, understanding what we're putting in our body that's going to help us get to the results that we want to get to. So there's a ton of different things out there, different ratios. We're going to focus on why we need these. So we're going to start off with carbohydrates. Carbohydrates are our body's preferred source of energy. So what happens is our body uses these carbohydrates and it converts it into glycogen. Our body then uses this glycogen to perform our daily habits. So it's exercise, it's work, all the good stuff. Our body will burn these carbohydrates and that's how we get the energy. There are 2 different types of carbohydrates that we kind of focus on: complex carbohydrates and simple carbohydrates. Sometimes complex carbohydrates are deemed as the healthy carbs. Essentially what that's going to mean is that these carbs are going to be bonded a little bit more complex, harder for our body to break down instantly, so it's going to be a much more sustainable energy throughout the day. Simple carbohydrates, for example, sugar, sodas, fruits, stuff like that. Fruits are a little bit different, but very simple sugars like candy will be able to be broken down because they're generally a single sugar molecule and get into our bloodstream very, very fast. So timing these carbs becomes very essential, and that will be covered in a later video. Next, we'll get into protein. So protein is very essential for our body. Our body actually uses this protein in a ton of different ways. So after we actually consume protein, our body breaks it down into amino acids. Now there is essential amino acids, and then there's non-essential amino acids. In general, your body will get most of the essential amino acids from animal products, where sometimes it's a little bit tougher to get these essentials from plant-based products. Now I'm not saying to eat only meat or don't eat meat, I'm just giving you the straight facts there. So we can get protein from a bunch of different sources. Some of the main ones are going to be meats, fish, poultry, whey protein powders, dairy, and then we can get some from plant bases. So it's going to generally yield a lot less protein, but we can get it from plants such as soy, rice, or even broccoli. So with that, you just kind of got to mix it up into your diet, see what you like. Every protein is going to have its own little nutritional value. You're going to get micronutrients from each of these. All right, and so lastly, fats. Now, a lot of people generally are worried about eating fat. They think that it's bad. That's kind of a common misconception. But fats are super important for our bodies. Fats are going to help with immune system. They're going to help with digestion. They're going to help actually oxidize and burn more fat. And they're also going to help with hormone balancing. So fats are super important. And then there's generally a couple different types of fats. So there's saturated fat, trans fat, and non-saturated fat. These fats all have their own category, and a lot of times these non-saturated fats are going to be deemed the healthy fats. So you can get olive oil, coconut oil, fish oil, stuff like that. Those are going to be generally the healthy fats because they're going to help our body burn fat and give our body some function. Like I said earlier, fats generally have 9 calories per gram. So this is a very, very concentrated form of energy. So when we're implementing these into our diet, we just have to be very careful on how many we consume because they're very calorically dense. So in combination with our proteins, fats, and carbs, we have to figure out what fits best our program. And remember, not everybody's body is the same. So some people work very, very well on a ketogenic diet. Some people are gonna do better on a low carb paleo diet. And others need a very healthy balance and all. That's kind of what we're here to help you with, is figure out what balance works for you. So I hope you guys found this video very helpful. If you did, give it a like. Let me know in the comments any other things that you want me to cover, and we will see you guys next time.